As SCVAL action continues in the De Anza division, things are starting to get tighter. And action continues tonight. We have high school sports, high school basketball on the air right here on YouTube Live and the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting Network. Good evening, everyone. Alongside Spencer McLaughlin, I'm Carlo Jimenez, coming to you live from Los Gatos High School as the 9-10 Los Gatos Wildcats host the 11-9 Palo Alto Vikings. Let's jump right into it. The host Wildcats are coming off their best game of the season. Los Gatos defeated the undefeated and number one seeded Mountain View Spartans on Tuesday night by a score of 55-52. The Wildcats 2-2-1 pressed and fantastic bench play from Ian Van Shiver and Oliver Aristil were the contributing factors in the away win. Spencer, coming off a terrific win, how do the Wildcats transfer the momentum here tonight?
I think they got to use their home crowd. You know, like you mentioned, easily their biggest win of the year, but you can't get too high off of that. When you have a big win like that, that can often feel like a pivot point in your season. You can't allow it to make you feel invincible. You know, it's a new game. It's 0-0 on the scoreboard, and you have to come out and execute, and hopefully the home crowd will be able to give them a benefit.
And for the visiting Vikings, it is a season of new beginnings with a new head coach and a completely new roster. The Vikings are still looking to find their stride before CCS playoffs. For Palo Alto, on the road is where it has been a struggle, only winning one league game away from Palo Alto this season. Spencer, for a team that has traditionally struggled on the road, how do you settle down in away environments like Los Gatos with such a big crowd?
Well, there's two people who are most important for settling a team down when you struggle on the road and you're in a packed road environment like we have here tonight on Los Gatos campus. That's the coach and the point guard. It is their responsibilities individually to make sure this team stays tempered, stays poised, stays together, and trusts what they're doing and doesn't allow the game to get too hectic or out of control. The point guard and the coach are going to dictate the tempo, and they're going to dictate very much the result of the game.
Well, this is the second meeting between both teams. Palo Alto won the league opener back at home in week 2 of SCVAL action by a final score of 62-50. With momentum after the big win, the Wildcats look to even the season series, while the Vikings try to climb to second place in the SCVAL De Anza division. Once again, I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside Spencer McLaughlin. This is a Central Coast Sports Broadcasting production of the Game of the Week, coming to you on YouTube Live. Tip-off is less than 14 minutes away. Well, we welcome you in, ladies and gentlemen, to the Central Coast Sports Broadcasting pregame show. Here are your recent scores from both teams. Los Gatos defeating Mountain View 55-52. Again, Mountain View had yet to lose a league game before facing the Wildcats, and Palo Alto defeated Cupertino 40-39, winning on a last-second layup by Marvin Zhao. Well, we want to give a shout-out to our sponsor, BSN Sports. Since 1972, your ultimate leader of team sports apparel and equipment in the U.S. Call John Gillette for more information at 408-209-6433. Let's jump right into our Gonzales Irrigation game-changing three-pointers. Since 1985, let Gonzales Irrigation Systems provide design, installation, parts, and service for all your berry, row crop, orchard, and vineyard needs, including sprinklers, filters, meters, and booster pumps. And GIS proudly offers Netafim irrigation products. Contact GIS at 831-675-2376. Well, Spencer, Los Gatos coming off one of their biggest wins of the year, but it was a lot from the bench. So how important is it for the starters to step up tonight, along with the bench players to continue to play well?
Well, you know everybody's going to feel like they have to do their part to step up, as any team sport knows. But, in basketball, it can really be a game of the hot hand. I don't think the starters should feel that, they let their team down in the last game or that they feel some great responsibility. Each guy's got to go out, do their job, know his responsibilities, play his game, and do what the coach is telling him out there. And the coach is going to determine the rotations at the end of the day based on the hot hand. Whoever's playing well in a number of different facets of the game. It could be whoever's got the hot hand offensively, whoever's doing something defensively, whoever fits a certain scheme that the coach is trying to employ. So you can't really get caught up in, I didn't play well last game, I've played better today, or this unit has to be better, because that's how you get into your head as players, and it can kind of mess with the chemistry of a unit. So, if you're Mountain View, you gotta put it behind you.
And for Palo Alto, they have won 5 of the last 6 against Los Altos and won the last game between these two teams. But as we know, Spencer, tough to beat a team 2 times in a row in the same year. How do you attack this Los Gatos team that has clearly the momentum coming into the game?
Yeah, they certainly do, coming off that big win. I misspoke a moment ago. Not Mountain View, but Los Gatos. You know, one thing that you mentioned earlier is they like to run a 2-2-1 press. So if you're Palo Alto, you have to be sound and you can't panic. And that's plays off of something that I alluded to earlier, where the head coach and the point guard are going to be the most important players on the floor. A lot of times, especially in high school, because, you know, these kids are really young, 16, 17, 18 years old, it can be really easy for them to get in a funk and get stuck against a press and not feel like they know where they're supposed to be, or, you know, they just kind of forget everything that they've been learning all year. So if you're Palo Alto, you have to stay poised, you have to stay calm, and the point guard and the coach have to be leading that charge, especially in this road environment. It is a packed student section. They're all decked out in their Hawaiian gear, so they're going to be extra rowdy tonight.
Yeah, packed is an understatement. I think the whole bleachers opposite to us is going to be students, whether it be Los Gatos or Palo Alto. And a head-to-head fact here, Palo Alto dominating overall in this season series. The last 4 victories have been 10-plus points. How do they keep that streak alive tonight and dominate Los Gatos?
Well, we've been talking about it throughout this pregame show, and it's exactly what we're staring at right now. Those are packed bleachers over there, and the student section, something you can see from here, they're very close to the court. I mean, quite frankly, the students who are in the front row are going to have to be very careful to make sure their feet don't get caught up where the players' feet are on the court. But that means when Palo Alto players are over there right next to the Los Gatos student section or fired up on a Friday night, it's finally the weekend. That gives them even more energy than they normally have. So when they get over there, the Palo Alto players, that is, they're probably going to hear an earful, and they have to be able to ignore it, focus on their teammates and their coaches, and be able to execute what they're doing. But it's a lot easier said than done.
That is true. It should be a loud one here, ladies and gentlemen. That was our game-changing three-pointers brought to you by Gonzalez Irrigation, serving the Monterey, San Benito, Santa Cruz, and Santa Clara counties. 831-675-2376.
Time now for X's and O's. Since 1988, Coastal Grower Magazine has been a local favorite for people in the agriculture industry and those involved with the agricultural business here on the Central Coast. Go to www.coastalgrowermag.com. That's www.coastalgrowermag.com.
Well, for Los Gatos, offensively, you got to defensively defend the three-point line. And one thing that really worked against that win against Mountain View, the 2-2-1 press, not only do you force turnovers, but you start Palo Alto in their offense with about 20 to 25 seconds on the shot clock. So you're taking a lot of time off the shot clock and making it a shorter possession game here for the visitors.
Yeah, and I think in high school you see a press invoked more to force turnovers than at the college level. In the college level, it's what you alluded to. It's kind of more of a token pressure, so that by the time the offense gets across, you know, they don't have as much time to operate offensively. That certainly is a factor in high school, especially with young kids who are used to having time in practice to get into their sets and everything. But you know, we saw Los Gatos employ that press a lot against Los Altos and rode that press to a victory right here in this same gym. We know head coach Jamon Osby is going to be rolling it out once again. So if you're Palo Alto, you got to prepare, and you cannot forget on the first possession. That's something that I've seen a lot in high school over the years, is kids are not thinking about the press. So after a team's first made basket, the kids won't go right into a press break, because they're not thinking about it. They're thinking, okay, now we got to go on offense. But then that can leave somebody caught. It can force a coach to use an early timeout, which can get them frustrated. So Palo Alto got to be sharp, and they got to be ready for that press.
Well, that was our X's and O's segment brought to you by Coastal Grower. We're almost done with our X's and O's segment. Palo Alto, the visitors, you got to get past the 2-2 press, I think, if you're Palo Alto. And at the same time, it's tough, Spencer, not to remain flustered when you get pressed out of a made bucket for Palo Alto, we mentioned the importance of the point guards, but how important is communication going to be in this game, especially with such a big crowd?
It's crucial. I mean, the point guard, there's a lot of different ways you can set up a press break, but sometimes the point guard is the guy taking the ball out of bounds, which means everyone else has to be able to communicate and get to their positions, or else it doesn't matter how calm your point guard is. But we'll see how Palo Alto adjusts with their press break and how they choose to set it up. But when you know you're going to be facing a press likely for the duration of a game that's going to be full court, you need to have options. So you shouldn't just have one press break, or if you do, there should be options within that play. You want to get guys streaking up the court and draw the defense's attention. You want to have options where, if they start to move it up, then a big guy standing at half court can go long. You have to keep the defense on their toes the same way that they're trying to keep you on your toes by applying full court pressure the entire game.
Well, that was our X's and O's statement, brought to you by Coastal Grower Magazine. And once again, we want to give a shout out to Vulcan Materials, the nation's largest producer of gravel, sand, crushed stone. To keep with this growing economy, for more information, visit www.vulcanmaterials.com. Well, we are going to get ready here for tip-off, which is just about 5 minutes away before our first quarter. Before then, let's get you the starting lineups for both teams. For Palo Alto, Jackson Christ will be the point guard. Number 3, Matthew Mazzaro, a junior captain on this team, along with Marvin Zhao will be the shooting guard and small forward. Zhao also a captain. And talking with Coach Rodney Tennyson pregame, he said, as he goes, we go. So 35, somebody to look out for here tonight. Wes Walters will start also at the senior position, and Connor Luss rounds out the lineup for the visiting Palo Alto team. Spencer, of those 5 guys, who's going to have the biggest game tonight?
I think it's going to be Marvin Zhao, like you mentioned. I mean, he's the guy that the Palo Alto head coach alluded to in the pregame a little bit, and really a guy that this team depends on. And oftentimes, especially early in the game, like we've been talking about, against a pressure, that teams can get kind of centered on getting the ball just to one guy who they know can handle the ball, or who they know is going to be able to make the right pass or the right play. And Marvin Zhao, a captain and a senior as well, is someone who, as a senior captain, it's your job to be that guy for the other young guys on the squad who are either, a year or two below you, or maybe just less experienced.
And for the Los Gatos Wildcats, starting for them will be Raj Rao, Braden Tawaramina, Corey Brown, Marco Mihalovic, and Noah Newberry. Spencer, we were here a couple weeks ago, and Marco Mihalovic went for 20 points. He only had 7 in their last game against Mountain View. How important is his play here tonight?
Well, I think it's crucial for a team that's struggled from time to time, probably more than head coach Jamon Osby would care to admit. But, last time we saw Marco Mihalovic here when they defeated Los Altos, he had 20, I think, of their 38 points. I mean, he was really doing it all, but he wasn't doing it in just one way. He wasn't just knocking down threes or just going in the post or just driving to the bucket. He was doing it all, and he showed the ability to handle the ball well for a kid of his size. He's got a good stroke. He's got great body control and the ability to make tough shots in the lane. So I think his offense tonight is where Los Gatos is going to have to start if they want to break this, these recent struggles that they've had against Palo Alto.
Well, those were our starting lineups, brought to you by Netafim Irrigation, offering best-in-class irrigation solutions, helping you do more with water. That's Netafim Drip Irrigation. Contact Mark Clifton at 831-258-8089. That's Mark Clifton at 831-258-8089. Well, ladies and gentlemen, a little bit of a later start here in Los Gatos at the Helm Gymnasium. 2:20 on the clock before start time as we get set here. Palo Alto versus Los Gatos, a big-time rivalry, a packed house here in Los Gatos in the Helm Gym. I think every bleacher is going to be filled up. Palo Alto student section already stand-in. They are ready. Los Gatos, meanwhile, filling up over half on the far side. So it will be a loud gym in here.
And credit the Palo Alto student section for showing up. I mean, this is a road game. It can be really tough, especially in high school where kids, not everybody's got a driver's license, let alone a car. So, credit them for coming out. I mean, they've got a solid section over there. So it's kind of all at our left. That's where the Palo Alto students are really concentrated. So look for when Los Gatos is coming that way to see if they are unable to get into the same kind of rhythm, or if they get distracted or they get sloppier here and there, because the Palo Alto students, like you said, they're already standing. They look ready to go, but so do the Los Gatos kids.
Yeah, it should be a great game here in Los Gatos. And I'd expect a little more scoring this time around between the two teams. Los Gatos, when me and Spencer were back here, 41 points, defeating Los Altos 31 points. That was actually their first league win of the season. And if you think about that, 3 games later, you defeat the 17-1 and undefeated Mountain View team. This is a team on the rise, Spencer, and this is a big statement game if they can continue that momentum.
Yeah, it is, and I mean, I mentioned this just a little bit earlier. It's a Friday night game. I mean, these games in high school always have just a little bit more juice, a little bit extra oomph, because the weekend is there and the kids are really fired up, both in the student section and on the court. So you know that Los Gatos is going to come ready to play, and they can't worry too much about, we've lost 5 of 6, or they're better, or whatever. Nor can they focus on, we just had a big win against Mountain View. They have to move on. It happened. It's a great win. It's potentially a statement win for them, but at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The scoreboard, once the numbers actually light up, will say 0-0, and that's what matters.
It looks like we're going to get a speech here at the center circle. It is Mihalovic next to Christ, as they will go ahead and talk to the crowd. We'll see if we can pick it up on our mics.
So we don't know how well everybody out there listening to us here on Central Coast Sports Broadcasting is able to hear what's been taking place in the last couple minutes, but a student and a player from each side, two total kids from Palo Alto, two from Los Gatos, coming out to make a statement about sportsmanship, along with the Los Gatos athletic director and another member of the faculty for the Los Gatos High School. And what they're saying is a good message overall. You know, be respectful, treat everybody well, you know, support your own team, don't necessarily boo the other team. That's asking a lot of high school kids, don't you think?
It's interesting. I mean, I understand the reasoning behind is definitely one of the biggest games.
Absolutely.
I think they clearly did not plan time-wise for this to go on this long.
Perhaps not.
We're going to get an 8 o'clock start here, which is an hour later than regular SCBL action starts.
Indeed it is. Oh, and also, I'd like to clarify what I said. So I'm not in favor of being rude and mean to players and everyone, but what I'm saying is you can make this message and make that statement to the high school kids, but it's a Friday night and they're playing their rival, and it is a loud environment, as everybody can probably hear right now. And yeah, I mean, you'd like kids to play nice and be reasonable, but sometimes high school kids say mean things here and there. But we'll see if they we'll see if those kids in the front row, like I mentioned earlier, were very close to the court, adhere to that tonight as we get the starting lineups.
So as we mentioned, Connor Lusk had the go-ahead shot against Cupertino, the winning layup. Also Matthew Mazzano, the captain. Marvin Zhao, the senior. Zhao is one of those players who, if you looked on the court, he's got skinny arms and not the biggest leg, doesn't look like the most athletic player, but he is the engine of this team, and I think that's a little beauty to this Palo Alto team. Really speaks well to their system as a program.
I think it's just the beauty of sports, quite frankly, is it doesn't matter who you are, or how big you are, where you come from, or anything. It's, can you play? Do you have a game that translates? Do you have the heart? Do you have the will? Do you have the skill and the dedication to make it translate onto the court? That's what sports are all about, and that's what makes them so awesome. So that's why I love seeing, I'm kind of biased because I'm a shorter guy myself, but I love seeing little guys succeed in the NBA. Because it's harder, but guess what? No one is going to sit around and throw you a pity party because you're a little bit shorter. You're either going to deal with it or you're not, in which case you're probably not going to go very far. But that's, you know, that's kind of the beauty of sports, is guys who don't look like this, or that, you know, doesn't seem like they're going to be a great player. They still can be. It's just a matter of dedication and skill.
So as Los Gatos hypes up their team, one thing to note against Mountain View, Noah Newberry picked up 2 very quick fouls. Mountain View has a 7-footer out there, and Los Gatos was able to get by. But I think tonight, especially in a high atmosphere, it is easy to pick up fouls early off of aggressive play.
Yeah, especially in this rowdy environment. I mean, the students are all jumping up and down. Hopefully they don't break some of the bleachers over there. But Noah Newberry, last time we were here on campus, we saw him effective when he was on the court. But he needs to stay there tonight for head coach Jamon Osby.
So it will be Walters and Brown. Walters wins it. And here comes Palo Alto. Luss crosses the timeline. Has it with the right hand, bounces it over to Walters. Walters, right elbow, swings it up top to Chris. Chris, backdoor pass, going down low. Here's Marzano, and he gets the bucket. And a nice backdoor flex cut and a bucket here for Palo Alto.
And you hit it right on the head. Great flex execution.
Here is Los Gatos' first possession turnover. Zhao down the left alley, up with the left hand, got it to go. Marvin Zhao with the deuce, and it's 4-0 after 30 seconds go by here in Los Gatos.
And right there you can see why he's one of the leaders of this team, making the steal, getting the hustle play, but also the skill to finish with a little bit of off balance, being in the air at the other end.
Here is Marco Mihalovic going baseline, rolls around the rim and out on the layup. Los Gatos chance to extend the lead. Marzano, far wing, minute gone by here in the first quarter, 4-0 Palo Alto on top. Here's a 3, Zhao, left wing, left it short, and Brown sky highs the rebound for Los Gatos as they move left to right. Almost another turnover. Rao's gonna fire a 3, and he hits it. Left wing triple, Raj Rao, and a steal off the inbound, and give him another one.
And just a lazy inbound pass there by Palo Alto. Lack of focus, and the crowd was going nuts after that 3. You got to think that that was a part of it, and they're into it now.
So Raj Rao with a 5-0 run in 5 seconds, as here's a 3 by Luss, left wing, nothing going, and Los Gatos looks to extend the lead. Teromina almost threw it out of bounds as Zhao was there with hands in the passing lane. But interesting here, Spencer. It has been high tempo. Raj Rao with a couple of big buckets, and it's 5-4 with 6:21 to play. Los Gatos on top. Here's Brown, left wing, gonna give it up top to Newberry. Straight on, Mihalovic, right wing, Rao. Rao jabs right, dribbles left, gives it straight on to Brown. Brown behind the back jumper, or dribble, and Zhao takes the steal. Tower Amina is one-on-one with him, and Tower Amina is gonna be able to deflect it out of bounds.
And Jamon Osby going straight to the bench now, as Braden Tiarmina twice now has just had 2 lackadaisical passes, but credit Palo Alto. Their energy and intensity at both ends of the floor has been keeping them around early.
So here is up top Zhao. Zhao, left-hand dribble, jumps in the air, Lusk over to Chris. Chris spins middle, dumps it for Walters. Aristo, who's checked into the game, couldn't grab the steal. 21 to shoot, and we get a jump ball. Noah Newberry in on the mix.
And good defense there by Los Gatos. The ball moved around the perimeter a couple times, but they were able to rotate and adjust and not allow any openings. And then active hands there by Newberry and a couple other Los Gatos Wildcats. And once again, the students simply love it.
It is loud here in Los Gatos, as here is Newberry. Right, left-hand dribble, gives it to Brown, far wing. 5:40 to play here in the first, 5-4. The home team on top. Brown gives it to Mihalovic. Mihalovic in between the legs, right down the alley, right-hand layup, and he gets fouled. But Marco Mihalovic weaves his way through the lane and is going to get a trip to the line.
And picking up right where he left off the last time we were in this gym, showing us the full repertoire of skills that he has. I mean, this senior has really got a great handle, excellent body control once he got into the lane to be able to extend that ball all the way out just to get a shot off and drew the foul. It's really excellent play and good aggression there early from Marko Mihalovic.
Mihalovic could not hit the first one. Second to extend it to a 2-point lead, and he gets it to go. So 6-4 here, 5:30 to play. Here's the 1-2-2 press for Los Gatos. Broken by Zhao. Zhao bringing it down the left alley. Bounce pass Walters. Right block. And a nice pass by Zhao to an easy bucket for Wes Walters.
And defensively, it was a bad rotation by Raj Rao for Los Gatos, who left Zhao open, who smartly attacked the 2-on-1 at the other end.
Aristo almost loses it near side as we are tied at 6 here with 5:09 to play in the first quarter. But a definitely high-intensity game Something I don't think either teams have really played in so far. Here's Newberry, right wing. Dribbles with the left hand, jumps in the air, finds Aris still. Left corner, he'll drive, up with the right hand. Layup could not drop home, Zhao the rebound. Here comes Zhao. He'll give it over to Lusk. Lusk looking for the skip pass, gives it to Marzano. Marzano left lane, drives and foul on the ground. Marzano working against Aris still, that's going to be his first. And with 5:53 to play, he'll be underneath to Palo Alto.
And Marvin Zhao, we mentioned him in the pregame and all he's able to do. He has found some excellent passes here in the early going that have opened up opportunities for his teammates.
Here's Chris, right corner. Lusk is blocked out of bounds by Mihalovic. I think he was in between whether he wanted to shoot or pass that. And just an easy block there for Mihalovic. And so Palo Alto will take it side out of bounds, trying to grab back the lead. 6-6 here with just under 5 to play in the first. Walters, right block, up with the right hand. Nice move from Walters, his second bucket of the night.
And really excellent footwork there from Wes Walters, a beautiful drop step, and we got a timeout here.
Javon Osby does not like what he sees out of his team early, and they're going to call a quick timeout. 8-6, on top is Palo Alto. As we want to give a shout out to Arnie von Massenhausen of Home Service Lendings. First-time home buyer or looking to refinance your current mortgage, work with an experienced mortgage consultant to find a solution for that best fits your needs. Call Arnie today at 408-858-4906 NMLS 280979.
Also want you to know San Jose's Hot Country 95.3 KRTY for the best in today's country music, sports, content, and fantastic concert series. KRTY has it all for you. Coming February 7th, live at Club Rodeo, country artist Russell Dickerson, and on March 28th, live from the City National Civic in San Jose, Brett Young. For ticket information, go to the website krty.com.
Well, Los Gatos to inbound here out of the timeout, trailing by 2 with 4:30 to play here in this first quarter. Here's a bounce pass, right wing. Has it is Newberry. Aris still, now to Raul. Raul, left corner, 3-ball, buries it. What a shot from Raj Raul, and he's got 8 of the 9 for Los Gatos.
And Raj Raul's just feeling it right now and doing it on defense, too.
Newberry the steal, tried to give it to Raul in the corner, and Zhao with the behind-the-back save. Palo Alto will bring it the other way, but Marvin Zhao, what a save. Chris Walters in the left block, give it to him again. Wes Walters is money from the paint, and it's 10-9. Palo Alto gains the lead with 3:50 to play here in the first.
And at the other end, Marvin Zhao with a tremendous read after the Palo Alto turnover to take it right back.
Palo Alto once again in the passing lanes. They have been doing a fantastic job all night getting the hands in the passing lanes as we get 4 new subs here for Javon Osby. Taro Mina, Joffrey will check in, Shiver along with Olasek. So the bench that really won the game against Mountain View is in right now as their team's down 10-9 with 3:41 to play in the first.
And Palo Alto defensively right now is doing it all. I mean, they are getting through screens, they are reading passes, active hands, they're talking, they're doing a tremendous job all around.
Here is right wing. Shiver drives, follow-away jumper from 10, and he got it to go. Big-time shot there from Ian Van Shiver, and it's 11-10. Los Gatos back on top, 3:20 to play here in the first.
And taking a page out of his teammate Marko Mihalovic's book just a little bit.
Lusk turns it over. Here's Taro Mina one-on-one with him. Layup with the right hand, and he gets it to go. So 13-10, here's a push out to Zhao. Zhao is going to hand it off to Shepard, and an easy bucket in transition as the pace of this game, Spencer, has been sky high.
It really has, but Palo Alto very smart there to get out and push on the break before Los Gatos could set up their press, and once again, a phenomenal feed by Zhao to his teammate.
Joffrey into the corner to Taro Mina. 13-12, on top is Los Gatos. Here with 2:42 to play. Brown almost loses it at the free throw line, and then we're going to get a jump ball between him and Zhao, and it will be Palo Alto basketball.
And once again, high awareness there from Zhao at the defensive end, recognizing that Taormino wanted to split that was Brown who wanted to split the double team, just gets his hand in there, doesn't foul, and forces a jump ball turnover.
So 2:30 to play here in the first. 13-12, on top is Los Gatos. Here's Walters as Palo Alto breaks the press. Lusk over to Zhao, wide open left wing, and he'll take that all night. Marvin Zhao with his 5th point, and it's 15-13 as Palo Alto takes the lead.
And doing just a little bit of everything, showing off the range there. He's got great touch inside and a tremendous handle as well.
So back and forth we go. Here is Taormina, Joffrey right wing. Started earlier in the year but was moved to the bench and has played well with this bench unit. Joffrey trying to go in the middle, and that one is stolen away by Palo Alto right to the rim, and the foul, Anthony Yu. Give him the and one, going coast to coast off the steal, and it's 17-13, just under 2 to play.
And Joffrey and his big man Shiver there, just not on the same page. They were running the pick and roll, and Joffrey threw the pass, but his big man never rolled. Or check out, that was Quinn Olasek. He just never went to the spot, and Joffrey threw it there, anticipating he would be there. And the big man should be there, but also the point guard's got to read the play.
In and out on the free throw from you. So 3-point play is not complete, and it's 17-13. Palo Alto with the 4-point lead. 1:45 to play here in the first as we get it away from the ball foul. And Spencer, only our 4th foul so far tonight. It has been a quick game so far.
Yeah, it has, and surprising that that's only the 4th team foul. You know, somewhat normal for a high school game in the first quarter, but this has been such a fast up and down game that normally you'd expect there to be a few more fouls, but both teams clearly well coached at the defensive end, able to defend without fouling.
Here's Shiver, right wing, as Los Gatos looks to trim the 4-point lead. Brown, crossover, left hand, out, right in there. Brown will turn, pirouettes almost into the lane, and gets the layup to go. 15-17 as Palo Alto throws it away. Anthony Yu looking for Zhao, threw it right to Jamon Osby. So Los Gatos gets the bucket from Corey Brown. He'll take a seat for Sean Gilmore. And now with a chance to tie or take the lead, down by 2.
And Anthony Yu there, you know, the right idea to push, but if you're going to push with tempo, you have to be smart. That was just an erratic pass, and there was no one really open anyway.
Here is Aristil right wing. Aristil's going to take it against Zhao. Zhao falls down. Aristil 3, right wing. Left it short. Rebound. Mihalovic fights for it, but it goes out of bounds to Palo Alto, and here comes the press.
Yeah, it does. Jamon Osby called it out right away after that ball went out of bounds. It's a mindset that Los Gatos has been in all night and isn't likely to get rid of anytime soon. They've done a good job forcing turnovers to this point.
Here is Zhao. Ryan Perper checked back into the game. Yu has it stolen away from him. Los Gatos creating a ton of turnovers, but Marzano takes it right back, and he'll throw it away. Looking ahead for Yu. Both these teams, Spencer, right need would be this break between the first and the second quarter. I think both coaches are going to be saying, hey, let's take a breath. Let's settle down here, guys.
Yeah, there's 3 turnovers in about 5 seconds between the two sides. Really well executed on the press for Los Gatos, but then just 2 hurried turnovers on the passes there, one by each side.
Here's a drive here by Shiver, and taken away once again, another turnover. Marzano coming the other way. Marzano over to Yu. Yu right hand layup, got it to go. Anthony Yu has 4, and it's 19-15. The lead is for Los Gatos.
And that was a much more controlled fast break there for Palo Alto, and Marzano went in the lane, avoided taking a charge, did just enough on the sidestep, and then didn't force a shot up, but waited and found Yu cutting to the basket on the weak side.
So 9 seconds to play. Here's Joffrey, right wing. Aristil 5 with 4. Free throw line jumper way off. Rebound, Shiver put back, couldn't drop it home. And that's going to be the end of our first quarter, and a first quarter full of action. After 15-19, the visitors on top here in Los Gatos.
Big shout out to our friend Kevin Moore, friend of Central Coast Sports Broadcasting and making a difference in our community. Central Coast Sports is your source for high school sports all year long. Follow us this regular season with the 2019 CCS playoffs right around the corner. Drop us a line with your thoughts and feedback. ccsblive@gmail.com. That's ccsblive@gmail.com. For more info, go to our website, centralcoastsports.live. You can also follow us on Facebook at Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Well, Carla, you touched on it there right at the end of the half, and I think I can see Jamon Osby physically expressing to his team, guys, we've got to slow it down because it's just been a very, very hectic affair.
Yeah, I think in that last minute we had at least 4 turnovers for both teams. And it just looked like the noise, I think, especially gets to the kids as we haven't really played in an environment like this. Either team has it in a small gym where it's extra loud. And so I think for both teams that's been a big effect. Los Gatos' press has clearly been working so far. And Palo Alto has been great at not only beating that press, but beating it early and getting out in transition and getting their buckets in transition.
But that's how they've beaten it, is beating it early. Once they've actually had to go at it, they've really struggled a little bit. They've made a couple of lazy passes. They've had a couple of hurried passes as well, and they're not quite as comfortable. But so far, their best tool has been to either get a stop at the defensive end or to just get out before Los Gatos can set up the press.
So it's start of the second quarter here, 19-15. On top are Palo Alto Vikings. Los Gatos with the ball, looking to trim the 4-point lead. Newberry on the drive, gives it to Gilmore. Left-hand layup, and Gilmore puts it off glass and good. As almost a turnover here for Lusk. Rao was reaching for that one. Here's the press, broken easily. Up top, Marzano, 19-17. LG down by 2. Palo Alto trying to add more to the lead. Left wing, already has got 4, and Aristill will pick up the foul. I believe that's his second.
I think it is, but it really shouldn't have been. Aristill was in a good guarding position. You initiated the contact, and it looked like his shoulder or elbow kind of caught Aristill in the face, who's going to have to check out of the game now with his second foul as Brandon Taramina checks back in, but Aristill, guy had been playing solid at the defensive end, now has to check out. That's a big call there by the official.
Here's the inbound coming from Lusk and trying to give it to Shepard, but Shepard is fouled by Mihalovic. And so 2 quick fouls here by Los Gatos as it's still 19-17. 2-point lead here for the Vikings, 7:22 to play. Lusk will now inbound from the far block for Palo Alto. Gives it into Shepard, left block. He'll go up and get blocked out of bounds. And so it will be a 4th inbound here for the Vikings underneath.
I like the play design, but Shepard's got to read it better.
Here's a 3, right wing, short off the front iron. Gilmore with the big rebound, and Los Gatos chance to tie or take the lead. Newberry left wing to Mihalovic. 3 for the lead. Left it short. Rebound fought for. Gilmore looking for it. And Lusk is going to come up for it for Palo Alto. Palo Alto a push. 7 minutes to play in the second. Up 2. Marzano 3 left wing. Off front iron. Shepard's put back too strong. He fights again for the rebound. Picks it up on the deck. And we're going to have a jump ball before the bucket.
And Jamon Osby pleading with the official in front of him that there should have been a foul. It looked like Shepard kind of came over the back. He's shaking his head right now because he wanted that to be a continuation for an and one, but it's a hectic environment in here right now.
Here's you up top, 2-point lead for the Vikings. Looking to make it more. Marzano to you, 6:44 to play here in the first half. Coach Tennenton gets his play call out to his team. They give it to Shepard. Shepard goes up and once again gets blocked, and there's some extracurricular at the end of that one. Shepard.
And the fans love it. I think it's Newberry and Shepard. And there's going to be a technical foul. I think they're going double technicals on Noah Newberry 22 and Jameer Shepard 24. So Shepard got the ball. And he went up, and I think they called a jump ball because Newberry had his hand on it. Then Newberry didn't really let it go. Shepard wasn't really happy with that, kind of threw him a forearm, and then they both exchanged some words, and now the officials right now are sorting all this out with each of the coaches.
And I played basketball with Noah Newberry for a couple of years, and he's not one to back down from a challenge with
He didn't
Shepard.
back down for a moment.
And so do not expect there to be more expect there to be more from those two if they come back into the game. I'm not a huge fan of the double technical call, Spencer. I feel like a warning does just the same.
Absolutely.
And both guys are one technical away from being thrown out of the game. But we'll see if that ends up happening here in this one.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't think the double technical is worthwhile.
Here's Rowe, stolen away by Zhao. Zhao in transition, right-hand layup. And Marvin Zhao, calm, cool, and collected, gets the steal and gets the bucket. Almost another one on Taramina.
But Los Gatos is just too hurried against the press right now.
Here's a drive by Mihalovic, and he is fouled going up. as you mentioned, just way too hurried. And it's 21-17, but walking to the line will be Mihalovic. Chance to trim it to a single possession ball game here with 6:16 to play in the second period.
So the turnover on the previous possession, Rao gets the ball. He had no help. He was going 1-on-4. His teammates all kind of released up court, something I alluded to in the pregame. They just released up court, and he was going 1-on-4. Zhao, once again, perfect timing on the steal and the skill to finish at the other end. He's got a great vertical as well. He gets up right next to the rim that makes finishing layups easily, but Los Gatos right now has got to calm down against the pressure of Palo Alto.
Mihalovic knocks down the second one. He goes 1 for 2, and it's 21-18. 6:14 to play here in the second. Zhao looking to break the press, gives it far wing over to Lux. Lux will drive and foul on Tower Amina, and Jamon Osby is not happy.
No, he's not, but I think that one was a foul on Tower Amina. It looked like his right hand kind of came down and hit Lusk on the arm. And the Palo Alto student section, credit them. You know, they've got a nice chunk figured out. They're at the end where Los Gatos is currently defending. And when Los Gatos commits a foul, they're hearing it from the Palo Alto students.
Passarello checks in for Palo Alto. Here's a drive. Marzano on the far corner, and he gets it to go off the glass. Tough shot there from Matthew Marzano, and it's a 23-18 lead. Palo Alto starting to pull away.
Yeah, it really was a tough shot. It was well defended, too. I love the no call from the official. The defenders were straight up, but something that a lot of officials might have called.
Taramina hands it off to Mihalovic. Driving down the left block. Blocked away there by Chris. Here comes Lust down the left wing. 5-point lead for the Vikings, looking to add more. Zhao, right wing, rips through. Has it against Taramina, now brings it up top against Mihalovic. Dribbles with the left hand, drives into the lane, shoots the layup, air ball, rebound Christ. Christ in the paint looking for somewhere to go. Gives it out, Palo Alto moves it. Marzano now left wing. His shot is rejected away by Shiver. They go down low to Passarello. That one's pecked out over to Zhao. Zhao's layup does not drop home, and we're gonna get a timeout call on the floor.
Yeah,
Shiver took a big hit after that block, I think from behind an inadvertent knee to the back of the leg.
I don't know if it was an inadvertent knee or if he came down awkwardly. He went up for the block and everything was clean, but the moment that he hit the ground, he went down in pain immediately. He looks to be okay now, hopefully just a stinger. He does have that left knee taped up, so probably something that he's going to be very wary of as he sits down gingerly. I don't think he got hit. I think it was the way that he came down on his leg, because he started writhing in pain the moment that his foot hit the ground.
23-18, 5:11 to play here in the second. Palo Alto on top. Zhao, far corner, 3, back iron, too strong, rebound, fought for, falling out of bounds. Taramina, or Brown can't save it. So it will be Palo Alto with a fresh 35, and that's a big fresh 35 as Zhao shot that last shot with about 4 seconds to shoot.
And Palo Alto right now has got the size advantage, and you can see it down low on every rebound. Los Gatos is going to have to be tough on their box outs.
Marzano going to Christ. Now they move it to Zhao, 3, left wing. He is not able to find one so far in this second quarter, and we get a foul on the rebound. That's going to go against Passarello. And here comes the press from the Vikings.
And there's a right call there, and Jamon Osby kind of had it's about time look on his face.
Brown gets the ball from White, almost stolen away. Now Brown has it poked from behind. Big collision there in the far corner, no call, and here comes Palo Alto. 5-point lead. Zhao runs over Mihalovic, and they're going to call a block. And I don't know about that one. Marvin Zhao looked a little out of control coming down the court. And Jamon Osby is going to get a timeout.
He was, but Mihalovic was not in a legal guarding position, but there was a missed call at the other end. Brown was going for the loose ball, and it looked like it was Christ who ran into him and knocked him over to get the ball and take it away. That looked like there was a clearly missed call at the other end, but Los Gatos still hanging around here, down by 5, but that was a tough sequence right there.
So for more than 4 decades, no construction company ranks higher in award-winning projects such as schools, nonprofits, and high-tech campuses, enhancing and enriching our community. Look no further than Block Construction. For more information, visit www.block.com. Well, as a bunch of teenagers yell at each other from about 5 feet away, we get set for this one. 4:38 to play. It has been all Palo Alto in this second half, Spencer. What does Los Gatos need to do out of this timeout? Because the Vikings have been in control.
Yeah, they really have, but I think Los Gatos has got to take care of the ball better. I mean, before the Brown foul at the other end, or the missed call it was, he barely had to snag the ball behind himself with one hand in order to not turn it over on the pass. Every time Palo Alto has gone with pressure, I'm surprised they haven't done it more often, quite frankly. Every time they've done that, Los Gatos has gotten way too hurried, and they're turning the ball over and not getting into their sets offensively, which is where they've been successful tonight.
Zhao's first free throw rattles it home. Marvin Zhao, give him 8 points on the night, 8 of the 24. That's a third for you math people. So 4:38 to play.
You're killing me.
Zhao's second one is also true. Spencer liked my joke. Here's
someone else did.
Coming from Gilmore to Aristil. Bounce pass over to Joffrey. Joffrey looking to break the press. Now will dribble up the left sideline. Don't pick up the ball, says Coach Osby. He does it. Finds White, and left block layup for Nathan White as it's 20-25.
And credit Jamon Osby there for telling Joffrey to not pick up the ball. He found his way all the way to the basket and found his teammate, but he might have picked it up had Coach Osby not told him otherwise. That's great coaching.
So 5-point lead as we approach halfway through the second quarter for Palo Alto. Zhao being watched by Newberry. Left-hand dribble, now a three. Marvin Zhao rolls around the rim and out. He is 1 for 4 on the night. Rebound, Gilmore comes up with it, and Los Gatos is having to fight for every rebound, Spencer, tonight.
Yeah, they are, but good job there on the glass.
Nate White trying to drive, bounces it to Gilmore, stolen by Zhao. Here's Chris. Chris, one-on-one. Joffrey, right-hand layup, off glass, gets his own rebound, and the putback from the left block. Jogs home. Jackson Chris with his first bucket, and it's a 27-20 lead, largest lead of the night here for the Vikings.
But right there, off a made basket, Palo Alto not pressing, and that's surprising because Los Gatos has struggled.
Here's another steal. Coming the other way, Marzano, his layup drops home, and a 9-point lead here for Palo Alto. And once again, still improving their largest of the night. Los Gatos needs a big bucket right now.
And Los Gatos struggling in the half court as well as the full court, so I guess it doesn't really matter for Palo Alto as the lead is now up to 9. I mean, the intensity for Palo Alto, the defensive end, has been there since the tip-off and has not let up one iota.
Joffrey, right wing, crossover with the left hand. Finds Newberry. Newberry straight on. LG needs a bucket right here. Newberry, layup, right block, off glass, and down. Noah Newberry with his first bucket, and it's a big one, 29-22 with 2:45 to play here in the first half.
Yeah, you nailed it. They really needed that bucket there. They'd had several turnovers and just unable to find any offensive momentum, and now they look to have that one get them going.
Here's Passarello, right wing, over to Marzano. Marzano drives, layup, air ball, and rebound taken by Newberry to Gilmore. Up ahead to Aristil, no numbers for Los Gatos as they'll pull it up. White gives it straight on to Newberry. Newberry's going to drive right through Marzano, layup, and an offensive foul, and an interesting call there, Spencer, because Mihalovic was in the same position on the other end, and that one was called a block, and here we get a charge.
They're bang-bang plays. I mean, it's tough for officials to know whether or not they're totally moving or totally set. I don't hate that call because Newberry was a little bit out of control, but you're right that there was a similar situation at the other end that went the other way. But I like Osby putting Rao back in the game.
Rao played very well. He had 8 points in the first quarter as Chris drive loses it out of bounds, and it's off Los Gatos, so it will be thrown in by you. 22-29, 2 minutes on the dot to play in this first half. The visitors on top here in Los Gatos. Palo Alto here to inbound. They give it to Zhao. Zhao going to Shepard. Shepard takes a dribble, takes an 8-foot one-handed floater. No good. Second chance opportunity, drops home, and does not drop home. Taormina gets the rebound and finds Brown. Brown dribbles up the court. Back to Taormina. Taormina being swarmed will try a three off fire, and a hurried shot there, and a timeout for Palo Alto and Coach Rodney Tennenton.
Yeah, that was a hurried shot. I mean, they barely beat the press. Hectically, once again, did Los Gatos, and then Taormina fires a three. for no real reason. It wasn't a terrible look, but it was coming off a screen. But interesting on that last possession, Palo Alto sent Jameer Shepard back into the game, and Jamon Osby took out Noah Newberry.
Yeah, I think both coaches do not want either guy to pick up their second technical foul.
Keep him out of the game.
So 29-22, 1:40 to play here as we are. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, for our Central Coast Sports halftime show. A halftime spotlight interview. Los Gatos AD Ken Parati. Ken Parati, one guy who definitely loves his school here at Los Gatos, bleeds the black and orange. And all coming up on our Central Coast Sports halftime show. Don't miss our next game tomorrow. Don't have to wait long. Bellarmine versus St. Francis. That one over at Bellarmine, 6:15 pregame, 6 o'clock tip-off. As here comes Palo Alto.
And Ken Parati is a great interview. Make sure everybody stick around for that. Last time we had him on there, he gave great stuff. A very knowledgeable athletic director.
Marzano, left wing three, buries it. Big shot out of the timeout. And it is a 32-22, 10-point lead for LG. Or for Palo Alto, correction. Los Gatos needs a couple of big possessions before half. Here's Brown, pump fakes a three. Now he's gonna drive up with the right hand, left it short, fights for his own rebound, out of bounds to the Vikings.
And Los Gatos right now has got to finish this half strong, or they could go into the break with a very bad taste in their mouth as they feel this game kind of slipping away.
Here comes Palo Alto, breaking the press. Marzano, who just hit the three out the right way. Under a minute to play here in the first half. 10-point lead for Palo Alto as Rodney Tennington, the first-year coach, calls out the play to his Vikings. Here's Shepard, left block, floats the flare screen over to the left wing Lusk. Lusk looking for Shepard, gives it to him. Shepard working against Mihalovic, up top. Chris pump fakes a three. Right wing, nice ball movement. Marzano knocks it down. And that is a back-to-back threes for Marzano, and it's a 35-22 lead for Palo Alto.
And right now, Palo Alto doing a great job utilizing pump fakes and driving into the lane, but not forcing the first shot. We've seen a number of drive and kicks, just like that one right there by Chris, who found Marzano. That's excellent offensive execution by Palo Alto.
So the last shot here for Los Gatos. 10 seconds to play, down 13 in the first half. Mihalovic, left-hand dribble, up with the left hand and puts it home. Shepard was right there. Here's Zhao on the inbound, full court pass to Marzano. Did his layup count? It did not. But heads up play by Marvin Zhao, who threw it all the way down the court to Marzano, but the layup at the rim was too late. And after a 16 minutes of play, it's 35-24, Palo Alto on top.
And what a high IQ play there from Zhao, recognizing that in high school the clock is not going to stop when you take it out of bounds. He grabbed that ball after the layup from Mihalovic immediately and heaved it down court to a streaking Marzano, like a quarterback leading his wide receiver out in the open, not quite able to get it off, but you love the aggression and the awareness there from both of those guys. If you're Palo Alto, take an 11-point lead into the half, and they've really been doing it through defense and smart passes on offense. I hit on it a moment ago, their drive and kick game. They've been making the extra pass. I mean, these are clearly not selfish players. They're guys who want to move the ball, want to find the open shot, and it's got them up by 11 right now.
So Ken Parati comes to the table here as we get our halftime interview. Here's Ken Parati.
Back on the show is Los Gatos Athletic Director Ken Parati. Ken, thanks for taking the time.
Of course.
So this young team has been, they got off to a little bit of a sluggish start this year, but 55-52 upset win at Mountain View, snapped a 13-game winning streak for that team. Talk about what that performance meant to the team and what allowed them to get that done.
Well, what allowed it to get that done is that they couldn't miss. No,
helps.
Seriously. I mean, just about every shot went in. But I think ultimately, in speaking with Coach Osby, I mean, it just proved that when the boys play the game that they know they can play, they can really hang with anyone in the league, And, new coaching staff, it's been an adjustment period. But when the kids have a chance to play their game, you can really see what the outcome is, and that's knocking off a previously undefeated Mountain View team
right
there.
So this being the second go-round between Palo Alto and Los Gatos in what has become a very spirited rivalry As you can see, the student sections have been going at it all night. 3 weeks ago, a 10-point loss for you guys over on the road at Palo Alto. But how fun is this rivalry for the fans as much as it is for the players?
Well, the students are definitely having a good time. And I got to tell you, I was a student here. And, I've never seen this many kids show up for a regular season basketball game. And I think, this rivalry we have with Palo is great. I mean, it really brings out the students. And it's in any sport, really, whether it's football or basketball or baseball or lacrosse. I mean, there's a certain mutual dislike for one another. But what I always tell Mike, and I've had the luxury, I actually know most of the kids on the Pally squad. I taught at Palo Alto 3 years prior to coming to Los Gatos, and they're literally the exact same kids. They have so much more in common than they do, than differences. And it's just funny, it's unfortunate because I think we're starting to get to a place where it's just more about dislike as opposed to celebrating the success of their schools and their teams. But, we're working hard to get back to a place where everyone can really enjoy themselves. And I think it's been a pretty good show so far tonight. It's been really lively, but our students have really showed good sportsmanship, both the Pally students and the Los Gatos students. And, it was a pretty exciting first half, and I think we're in store for a great second.
Well, it certainly was a display of good sportsmanship, but not a lack of energy for sure. They have been going at it all night, certainly to continue in the second half. But you touched earlier on the new coaching staff for you guys with head coach Jamon Osby. Walk the listeners through a little bit, kind of the selection process and how he became the number one guy.
Well, I found out pretty early last year that Coach Nick Ward was going to be stepping down. He's had a child on the way, and it's always tough when you're an off-campus coach,
right.
And he was working, his job, which actually pays the bills, and then doing the hobby thing, which is coaching. But the coaching part takes way more time than the actual job,
right.
And so. Coach told me he had to leave pretty early on last year, and so as soon as the season was over, we opened the position. We had a really, really deep pool of candidates to apply, and I think the thing that stood out with Coach Osby was just his passion for the game. I was sitting and listening to him talk about basketball, and I was excited. I wanted to get out there and play. And, our hiring committee really felt like Coach Osby was a guy that was going to be able to motivate these kids, get them to play basketball and have a good time, we've seen it there. Winning a CCS championship, the first in school history, that's a tough act to follow, and these kids knew that. There's pretty much not a single kid on the starting lineup this year that had any significant minutes in last year's CCS championship squad, and so Coach knew the job he had in his hand when he took it over, and we couldn't be happier. It's going. Obviously we'd like to have more wins, but it's not just about wins and losses. It's about the way the kids
right.
conduct themselves in the game that they play, and we really feel strongly we're moving in the right direction.
So as athletic director, of course, you oversee a number of other sports. Girls basketball in a little bit of a rut right now. Talk about how you think they come out of their current 3-game losing streak.
Yeah, I mean, they've been kind of up and down this year. Also with the new coaching staff,
right.
Coach Sarah Quilici, we are just thrilled with the job that she's done with these girls.
Yeah.
And, I think part of that 3-game rut is, we've had some pretty significant injuries right now.
Mm-hmm.
We have, two players that are out that share significant minutes in each game, and I think they're just having a hard time overcoming that. But, they're on the downhill side of that league schedule there, and they know that the CCS playoffs are waiting for them. And so, at this point, I think it's play the best basketball that we can play through the next 2 weeks and then get ready for CCS.
Last time we talked about both of the soccer programs for both boys and girls. They were both doing pretty well. They've continued that success since then. Talk about what they've been doing throughout the course of the season consistently that's allowed them to have such a high level of success.
Well, the girls, they beat Pally today. I believe it was 3-2. The boys lost to Pally today, and so Pally's a half a game out of first, and so right now our boys are tied with Mountain View for the league title, and our girls are they're right there, and I believe it's a tie. I should know this, but we had a close game with Mountain View. I think it was a loss actually, so I think there's a tie there for first place. But both of our soccer programs, boys and girls, have had a tremendous year. Boys had a really slow start in the preseason, and then they've really emerged here since January, showing the level of soccer that they can play. So
yeah, 5-1-2 in SCVAL play are your boys' soccer team this year, so certainly making that kind of turnaround that you alluded to. And finally, spring sports are right around the corner. Today is February 1st. It doesn't seem like it, but it is, and it's here. Last year, the baseball team, the 2018 CCS runner-up with kind of a heartbreaking loss. What's their outlook for 2019 this year?
Well, you know what they say, great programs don't rebuild, they reload, you know. And
Exactly.
you know, our baseball team is quite deep this year, you know, and Trevor Allen coming back, you know, one of the best arms in the CCS. We're lucky to have him. And you know, their expectation is to be playing for another, you know, CCS title, a league championship and a CCS title. That's what those kids expect to be playing for this year. They have the talent to do so. They have the coaching to do so. It's going to be really fun to see that play out in this spring. So.
Well, the always fun to talk to, Ken Parati, Athletic Director for Los Gatos High School. Ken, thanks again for stopping by.
Thank you.
Well, we have a halftime score, 35-24. Palo Alto the lead on the road as my broadcast partner, Carlos Jimenez, gets his headset back on, and we are ready to go. You have been listening to the Central Coast Sports halftime show. We are about 2.5 minutes away from tip-off, and the WCL is brought to you by Arnie von Massenhausen of Home Services Lending. With Arnie, you are a customer for life. Let his products, programs, and services protect your largest asset, your home. For your financing needs, call Arnie today at 408-858-4906.
Well, let's look at the SCVAL around the league here, Spencer. Gunn 1-6, 7-11 overall, playing at Homestead, who is 4-4 in league on the year. Gunn, the only away win here for Palo Alto, currently leading 35-24 at halftime. Los Altos playing at Cupertino. 2-6 are Los Altos, and Cupertino 5-3, tied with this Palo Alto team for second place here in the SCVAL. So that's around the De Anza division. Let's get to our first half stats for both teams. One thing to know, and we'll get to it here, Jackson Christ with 2 points in the first half. Anthony Yu with 4 of his own, all coming in the first quarter. Matthew Marzano, 12 points on the night, 10 in the second quarter. Marvin Zhao with a solid 9. Wes Walters with 6 all in the first quarter. Connor Lusk, the only starter yet to score, and Jameer Shepard with 2 of his own. For Los Gatos, Brandon Teromina with 2, Corey Brown with 4. Marko Mihalovic only has 2, both off free throws, both on separate trips. Noah Newberry with 2. Nathan White with 2 of his own. Raj Rao's got 8, all coming in the first quarter. Sean Gilmore has a deuce, and Ian Van Shiver, who still has his shoe off on the bench, think his night is done, has a deuce of his own.
And he seems to be grabbing his ankle right now, so it looks like he might have come down on that. That's where he's got the ice on his left foot. Hopefully he's okay. Probably and hopefully just a sprain there for Ian Van Shiver. But if you're Los Gatos, I think you got to be going to Raj Rao and Marko Mihalovic. I mean, those are your most talented offensive players. Rao got it going early with some triples, and that got the crowd into it as well. He scored in a hurry. We've seen Mihalovic score in bunches. He had that big bucket there at the end of the half, but you know the crowd's going to try to spur him on, but Los Gatos ultimately is going to have to make the plays to overcome an 11-point deficit.
So Palo Alto will start with the ball here, up 11 to start the second half. Here's Lusk, right elbow. Has it with the right hand, looking for somebody. Marzano, 3 straight on, left it short. Rao the rebound, and here comes Los Gatos.
And Rao with great awareness on the rebound to not get caught turning it over like we've seen too many times tonight.
Here's Teromina, left corner, 3, left it short. Rebound, Marzano has the height advantage. And here comes Palo Alto looking to add to the 11-point lead. Zhao driving, baseline, floater off glass. And Marvin Zhao, the fundamentals, I think one thing that jumps out, have just been perfect so far tonight.
Yeah, they really have, and he's got a soft touch inside, but also long strides allow him to get to the basket in a hurry, and uses them on defense as well.
Here's Teromina, left wing, 7:09 to play here in the third quarter as Teromina spins middle and puts home the layup. 26-37 is the lead for Palo Alto. Here is Zhao, he'll cross the timeline off the press, drives down the right alley, gives it to Walters. Walters left block layup, rolls around, hangs on the rim, and drops out. And here comes Brown the other way.
But once again, a great feed from Zhao after calmly beating the press.
Here's a turnover by Newberry up top. Walters will push into the lane, and he is fouled by Newberry. And Osby not happy about that one. I think he's disappointed really in his team's play. A tough turnover there by Newberry. And another opportunity here for Palo Alto, chance to extend the 11-point lead.
It's just too many times up top we've seen on these dribble handoffs that Los Gatos is doing, and Palo Alto is able to just get their hands in the passing lanes and cut them off. Los Gatos has got to be sharper and crisper with their cuts, their screens, and their handoffs, because too many times it's been leading to senseless turnovers.
26-37. On top is Palo Alto. Here's Marzano. There's Luss trying to bounce it into the near block to Walters. That ball's on the ground, and it's going to go out of bounds to Los Gatos. So LG forces a turnover, and now a chance to cut it to a single-digit lead for the Vikings.
And Mihalovic inbounding this from the corner, and Palo Alto coming out in that full-court press.
Here's a nice pass by Aristil to Mihalovic. Has numbers. Olasek left block, and an easy bucket, and that's how you break the press with the pass.
Yes, it is. They worked it around the perimeter early, and then Mihalovic cut right down the middle and had the 2-on-1.
Here is Christ, and Christ an easy bucket left block, and Palo Alto mimics Los Gatos and gets a deuce.
Almost the exact same play. You kind of work the ball around the perimeter, suck the defense up just a little, and then get by him.
Mihalovic with a nice move off the fake handoff, gets to the rim and finishes with the right hand on the left side. As here comes Palo Alto looking to break the press. 30-39. Vikings on top, almost stolen away in the paint. Zhao comes up with it, and Zhao calls time. Marvin Zhao picked it up on the ground, was yelling at the referee for a timeout with 5 Los Gatos defenders around him. And with 5:41 to play and the Vikings up 9, they're going to take their first timeout of the second half.
With a coast-to-coast footprint of over 300 U.S.-based production sites, you can see why Vulcan Materials is an essential part of our country's makeover, including road and bridge repair, construction of office buildings, schools, hospitals, and more, giving back to our community and shaping our future. And, you know, Carlo, we thought the pace might slow down a little bit, but it just hasn't. Both teams are still very anxious, and they seem to be executing the press break a little bit better. I'm sure both coaches were talking to their guys about that. But what I've been alluding to, you know, but haven't had a full chance to explain because this game is so fast, is how they're beating the press. They draw them all the way up, and they work the ball around the perimeter. So they want those front guys, usually the guards, to come all the way up, create a little bit of space. Then you get a runner into the middle, and he's got momentum, and then the defense is caught flat-footed just enough, and that's how you beat the press and create a 2-on-1 on the backside.
Taormina working up against Chris. 30-39, 5:30 to play here in the third. Palo Alto with a 9-point advantage, looking to make it double digits. Here's Luss, driving baseline, now we'll pull it out. 10 to shoot for the Vikings, gotta go. Walters up top, Marzano, another 3 and another miss. Air ball there for Matthew Marzano, and the Los Gatos crowd's gonna let him hear it.
And he's going to hear that the next couple times he touches the ball, so mentally he's got to be prepared for that.
He hit 2 to end the first half and has gone 0 for 2 to start the second half. Here's a full court pass. Taormina driving, layup right side, and he is fouled. Braden Taormina gets around Zhao, who has the quick hands, and is going to have a chance at the line to make it a 7-point ball game with 5:11 to play.
And Zhao is just really decisive and methodical with everything that he does. He's one of those guys who's working hard in everything that he does, but it all looks very effortless. It looks like he's just gliding up the court and knows exactly where he needs to be. And the Palo Alto student section, who's right behind where all that action was taking place, wanted a travel. I think it was the right call to not make it, because he might have taken a couple extra steps to Taormina, but it was caused by the foul on Zhao.
And Taormina knocks down the second free throw. So 31-39 on top of the Palo Alto Vikings with the ball. Here's Lusk, right wing. 5 minutes to play here in the third. To Zhao. Zhao moves it over to Marzano. Back up to Zhao up top. Right-hand dribble. Right back to Marzano. Marzano will give it right block. Walters to the cutting Chris. Chris stripped by Aristil, but it'll be out of bounds to Palo Alto with 17 to shoot.
And Los Gatos has gone to a 2-3 zone here, and that was great high-low action. The cut on the baseline by Walters and an excellent feed leading to the foul.
Lusk inbounds up top to Marzano. They give it to Zhao, far wing. Zhao, no-look pass to the opposite wing to Lusk. Here's 10 to shoot now. Marzano's going to bounce it down low. Walters always finding the spot. Did not hit the rim. 5 to shoot. 4, 3, 2. Marzano doesn't know it. Shot clock violation. And so the air ball on the layup by Walters did not reset the shot clock, and Los Gatos plays 35 seconds of defense and gets the turnover.
An excellent communication by the shot clock operator and the officials to not reset that shot clock. It did not hit the rim.
And there's a foul on Aristil running in transition. Marzano picks up the foul.
And fortunate there for Los Gatos, Taormina had abandoned his team on the other side. Jamon Osby immediately called him over to tell him that he needs to come back to the ball a little bit to give his teammates an option there against the pressure of Palo Alto.
Here's Rao, right wing. Rips through and now looks. Hands off over to Taormina. Taormina jumps in the air. Aristil left wing. 4 minutes to play here in the third. 8-point lead for the Vikings. Drive. Here's Mihalovic. Layup is down. Marko Mihalovic with his first field goal of the game, and it's 33-39. Here is Zhao in the lane, and a lot of contact, no foul. Ball goes out of bounds, and it will be Los Gatos basketball.
And there's quite a different reaction when there's a no call on an iffy situation when you're at home, and the students with their team now down by just 6 are all into it.
33-39. As Los Gatos has the ball, chance to continue to trim the lead. Rao walks it across the timeline with the right hand. Crosses over to the left, finds Brown. Brown almost turns the ball over. Now we'll give it up top to Mihalovic. Mihalovic swings it quickly to Aristil. Straight on Rao. Deep three, way off the line, and give it to him. Raj Rao from the parking lot, and it's 36-39. Palo Alto up 3.
And we talked about him coming out of the break. He can score in a hurry, doing it right there.
Here is a drive coming from Walters, lost it out of bounds. That is Raj Rao's first bucket since the first quarter, in which he dropped 8 points. Here comes the inbound. Zhao's got it straight on. Or correction, that is you. Left-hand dribble, 3:24 to play, 3-point lead. Zhao now in the corner, drives, picks up the dribble, gives it straight on to you. The third leading scorer for the Vikings. Here's Zhao, the leading scorer, gives it back to you. Up top, you 8 to shoot. Drive here by Zhao, looking for Walters, taken away by Los Gatos. Los Gatos down by 3. Mihalovic driving, right-hand layup, and he finishes.
And Mihalovic showing the athleticism, going coast to coast, and once again the phenomenal body control to hang in the air, distort himself, and get that bucket.
38-39, 2:48 to play. Walters layup, got it to go. Palo Alto finally breaks the run thanks to Wes Walters, and it's 41-38, Vikings by 3.
And you hit on it earlier, Walters does a great job of finding the openings in the defense.
Here is Aristil, right wing handoff Rao. Another deep three blocked away. Aristil a rebound. Rao wants it back. He's feeling it. Aristil, follow-away jumper on the baseline, hits the side of the backboard. Here's Lusk, gives it to Zhao. Nice bounce pass to Chris, and layup from the right block is down. Just like that, Palo Alto back up 5 with 2:13 to play here in the third.
And once again, doing it at the defensive end is Palo Alto. That's igniting their offense, transition buckets.
Here's a rip through by Brown, and he is fouled. You with the foul on the play, and we're going to get subs here. Newberry and Gilmore will check in. Sitting down is Olasek and Mihalovic. And Mihalovic will probably sit for this 2:03 and then play the final 8.
I'm still surprised they took him out because he's been finding lanes into the bucket right now.
Rao, right wing with the hot hand, gives it to Aristil. Down by 5 is Los Gatos, trying to trim the lead. Almost stolen away by Marzano in the lane. Here's Gilmore, he'll drive, and it's poked out of bounds. One thing interesting here for Palo Alto, Marzano, Walters, and Zhao have yet to sit. And so you wonder as we approach this fourth quarter, Spencer, if that fatigue gets to you.
Well, it definitely does. Certainly on your jump shots, that's where it impacts you the most.
Here is right wing as Gilmore has it stolen by Zhao in transition. Shepard almost, he did lose it, and throws it underneath. I think he was looking behind him as Zhao with another steal in transition. Now one-on-one, looking for somewhere to go. Blocked by Brown. Yu comes up with it for the Vikings, and they're going to reset. But 1:27 to play. 2 straight fast breaks missed for the Vikings as they remain up 5 with 1:20.
I swear Zhao has 8 steals tonight. I am losing track really quickly.
He averages 2 a game. Definitely above that. I'd agree. He has been in every passing lane.
His anticipation and timing is impeccable. I mean, the moment a guard comes off the screen, he is lunging right to where the ball is going to be. He never hits the arm, and he always knows where he wants to go. It is an impressive defensive display.
Left wing, here is Yu. 7 to shoot now. Shepard up top. Right wing over to Marzano. 4 with 3. Marzano crosses over, throws it up. Air ball. Newberry gets it, and here comes Los Gatos. One thing to note, Shepard and Newberry both back on the court since getting double technicals. Here's Brown, pump fakes, goes into Zhao. Right hand layup, left to chart. Zhao coming down with a rebound, and it's going to be Palo Alto basketball underneath. Newberry poked it out of bounds.
And Brown got a good look there in the basket. Newberry almost able to snatch that offensive rebound, but they're just not quite getting there on the offensive boards. They haven't tonight. It's been Palo Alto with the edge on the glass at both ends.
Taormina and Olasek will check in. Passarello will check in for Palo Alto. Yu's got it up top. 45 seconds to play here in the third. 43-38. Vikings by 5, looking to inflate the lead. Here is Yu, straight on. Has 4 points on the night, all coming in that first quarter. 30 seconds now, 20, about 11 seconds difference between shot clock and game clock. Shepard drives right around Gilmore and 1. Gives a flex to the crowd, but Jameer Shepard, the 6'2 junior, just using the power and is going to get a chance to make it a 8-point lead.
And Gilmore there did stay pretty straight up, but the problem was he stuck his leg out and maybe his body just enough to warrant the foul.
He rattles home the free throw. Give him 5 on the night. And we're going to get, the referee's going to come to the scores table as the referee's trying to handle it. Tennington is out there. Spencer, did you see what aspired? I was looking out at my stat sheet. I did not see what happened.
I didn't. So Los Gatos AD Ken Parati is on the court right now talking to the officials. So this is definitely something that's going to be conduct oriented. I don't know if someone said something or if someone threw something or what the case was. The students are all kind of looking in a particular direction.
It looks like somebody threw something from the student section here at Los Gatos as Parati's going to come get the mic.
And we're going to get an announcement on this.
Talk to his crowd here. 27. So Parati making a statement right now, saying if Los Gatos crowd throws something one more time, LG will have to forfeit the game. As Parati continues to speak to his team, or to his students.
And a good statement there from AD Ken Parati, because that's just that's unacceptable behavior. There's no excuse for it at all. There's no reason for it. I mean, you're not going to gain anything. You know you're not supposed to. There's just no logic in that kind of statement. But in these types of heated environments, those are the kind of things that can happen.
So 27.7 to play, 38-46. It is a 8-point lead here for Palo Alto, who has quietly gone on a 7-0 run after Los Gatos made it a 1-point game. Up top, Rao. Big bucket here needed for Los Gatos before the fourth quarter. Here's Brown, gives it to Mihalovic. Mihalovic straight on Olasek, right wing, Taormina. Looking for Rao, gives it to him left wing. Rao, back to Taormina with 6, is gonna drive, puts up the layup, tough shot, left it short. Olasek the rebound, he goes up, no whistle. Here is you, and that's gonna be the end of our fourth quarter. So 38-46, 8-point game after 4. We will be as
arguably the most successful league in California, interscholastic.
Outfitters of Nike, Under Armour, and other national brands. There is only one team with the best supply network in high school athletics, BSN Sports. Give John Gillette a call at 408-209-6433 or check their website at bsnsports.com.
Entering our 10th year with the most live high school sports coverage in the area, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting. Big shout out to our broadcasters and our sponsors who continue to give back to our communities with the best in high school sports. For the latest updates and scheduling, check out our website, centralcoastsports.live. That is centralcoastsports.live. You can also follow us on Facebook, Central Coast Sports Broadcasting.
Well, Spencer, 8 minutes to play. You're down by 8 if you're Los Gatos. What do you got to do if you're the home team here, trying to pull this one out against Palo Alto?
Well, in this fourth quarter, Raj Rao and Marco Mihalovic cannot come out of this game. They simply cannot. Offensively, that's not something that Los Gatos can afford to do. Those have been your most consistent scorers. Those have been your most capable scorers. And they're the guys who are best able to get their own shot. Raj Rao, tends to like to come off screens, but Mihalovic especially, who is going to start this fourth quarter on the floor, has got to be big here late because he's a guy that can bail out Los Gatos late in the shot clock if they get stalled.
So up top, Rao's got it. He's going to bounce past it. Mihalovic right wing. Mihalovic gives it straight on. Taormina, deep 3, in and out. And rebound, give to Zhao. Zhao, full court pass to Marzano. His layup is down, a beauty from Zhao. And Marzano running the court gets a 2. It's a 10-point lead.
And that's what Palo Alto's been doing all night, running out in transition and just beating Los Gatos back the other way. Defensively, they've got to adjust.
Rao being pressured up top by Marzano. Gives it to Olasek. Olasek, hands off to Taormina. Jabs right, goes left on the left wing, floats it down low. Nice pass to Olasek, and one from Quinn Olasek. Right block layup, give him the bucket and give him the foul. 40-48. Here with 7:19 to play in the fourth.
And a great recognition there by Quinn Olasek to see the defender coming from the other side, wait for the pump fake, able to finish strong through the contact. That's a big momentum play that'll hopefully get these students going for Los Gatos after the incident with the fan throwing something on the court.
So there is a and one completion by Olasek, and it's 41-48 with 3:15 to play here in the fourth. Shepard breaks the press, gives it into Passarello. Passarello to Shepard, driving, layup, fouled, and layup does not drop home, but Jameer Shepard, every time he's on the court, just seems to be in attack mode here, Spencer.
Yeah, he is. I mean, he charges hard to the basket, whether it's on a rebound, on a drive, or right there on a cut, and a great feed from his teammate Passarello, who caught the pass and calmly just kind of gave it back to him. But something I learned from one of my coaches years ago is the person making the cut makes the pass as much as the person making the pass. It's about recognition, timing, and execution at both ends of the floor, and Jameer Shepard right there showing just how it's done.
First free throw does not drop home, or second one, both drop home, correction, for Jameer Shepard, who makes his point total 7 on the night. 51-41, 7:03 to play. Los Gatos down 9 with the ball. Here is Joffrey, somehow gets it back, gives it to Brown left wing. Brown driving baseline, running out of real estate, gives it into Olasek. Olasek is fouled from behind as Osby was screaming at the referee for a call, and he got one on Marzano.
And it's definitely a foul, but if he had not gotten one, I think Jamon Osby was going to run out to center court and have to get talked to by the AD himself, because before that play even completed, he was begging the official for a foul, but the right call right there.
Taormina wide open, left wing 3 off the front iron. Joffrey comes down with the rebound for Los Gatos and throws it off of Shepard out of bounds. So John Joffrey able to get a fresh 35. And another opportunity here for LG.
And heck of an effort there by Joffrey, getting that rebound within 2 Palo Alto defenders and then throwing it off of Joffrey as he was falling out of bounds.
Mihalovic, left wing three. That one tipped, air ball, rebound by you. Here comes Palo Alto looking to push. Up by 9, looking to make it a double-digit lead. Here are the Vikings. 6:34 to play in the 4th. Here is you left wing. You left-hand dribble at the waist. Now it switches to the right, working against Joffrey. Goes over a screen, crosses over at the free throw line, finds Marzano. Marzano right to the rim. Left-hand layup rolls around and out. He's put back, can't drop home, and Joffrey comes down with the rebound. So Joffrey, after playing the good defense, has got 2 quick rebounds. And here comes Los Gatos as Brown's holding his left eye. And Shepard tried to save it from going out of bounds, but he stepped out of bounds on that right wing. As Brown got poked in the eye, and Aristill's going to have to check in.
Yeah, he did, and that really kind of diffused their whole offensive set there. They're trying to run the other way after getting the stop at the other end after Palo Alto had a number of opportunities, but unfortunate break there for Los Gatos, but they still got the ball.
So here is LG up top. Down by 9, 5:58 to play here in the 4th against Palo Alto. Mihalovic drives, Euros, left-hand layup, front iron miss, rebound taken by you. You will push right wing, 5:48 to play here in the 4th. Walters hands it off to you. Now Zhao looking for somewhere to go, back to you up top. Right wing dribble for you. Now goes off a screen from Walters. In the lane, handoff, Walters, layup, left block, and that's money for Wes Walters. He's got 12, tying their leading scorer of the night, and timeout Jamon Osby, 52-41, 5:23 to play here in the 4th. Palo Alto taking command a little bit here, Spencer, as the end of the game comes up.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're doing it at both ends right now. There's a great 2-man game there by you and Walters. Once again, Walters able to just find the space down low, knows exactly where he wants to be, catches the ball, and he's got nice touch down low for a big guy. And, you know, he has been kind of he's got a quiet 12 or 14 points tonight here for Palo Alto. It doesn't seem like it, but he's been one of their leading scorers.
Yeah, he's just been, every time he seems to touch the ball on the block, a layup is coming. And he has been shooting at high field goal percentage, not taking a lot of other shots, just a guy who knows his role and plays his role excellently. And I think we see that a lot for Palo Alto. Matthew Marzano has played excellent with 14 points on the night. Walters, excellent with 12 points, all playing around Marvin Zhao. Jackson Chris with 4 of his own. He has played well, and they complement each other really well out here, do the Vikings.
Yeah, they absolutely do. But before we get back going, published quarterly for 30 years, don't miss the combination of business and lifestyle articles that affect the agricultural industry. Pick up a copy of Coastal Grower Magazine today or subscribe via coastalgrowermag.com.
Here's Rao up top, left wing over to Mihalovic. They give it to Newberry. Newberry blocked from behind by Walters. And it's going to be a jump ball, and it will go to Palo Alto. But what a play there from Wes Walters.
Yeah, it was. He did not come over the back, even though it kind of looked like it. He had all ball, forces the jump ball turnover. That's a heck of a defensive play off of what was a well-drawn-up offensive play by head coach Jamon Osby for Los Gatos.
So 5 minutes to play here, 41-52. On top is Palo Alto. Walter straight on, gives it to Chris. Chris looking down low for Lust, jumps up in the air, saves it, and Rao tips it out of bounds for Los Gatos. So it will be Palo Alto basketball side out of bounds, 15 to shoot, up by 11. This has matched their largest lead of the night.
So 4:51 to play. It looks like Palo Alto is really not in as much of a hurry as they have been throughout this game. You know, now with an 11-point lead, it looks like they're going to sit on it, use the clock more in each possession as it's down to 8.
You driving right wing, jumps up in the air, gives it up top to Walters. Walters, Euro step, layup, and he puts it home. Wes Walters has got 14, and it's a 54-41 lead here for the Vikings. Tower Amina now for Los Gatos, drives baseline, layup short. Walters the rebound, who else? And here comes you the other way as we approach halfway through this fourth quarter.
Los Gatos has got to get Marco Mihalovic the ball.
Here is you, right wing up top. They move it to Zhao. Zhao's going to go baseline, jump in the air, find Luss, back to you. Straight on Walters, 3-ball, give it to him. And Wes Walters has got 17, and it's 57-41. Palo Alto on top.
And he's now doing more than just finding the openings.
Mihalovic drives, layup, and one. Left block, got it to go. And now it's going to make it 43-57. And Los Gatos has got to go now if they want a chance in this one.
And right on cue, Marco Mihalovic taking the ball into his own hands, getting the and one here, trying to give Los Gatos a little bit of a lift. Their offense has just faltered here in the last couple minutes and unable to stop Wes Walters at the other end, who showed us a quick little shimmy Euro step, the three-pointer, and we've seen him, find space down low all night. He's been impressive.
Mihalovic way off on the layup. As checked into the game is Chin Mulgun for Los Gatos. Here is up top Lusk. Right wing, they give it to Walters. Walters now, left side. Back, here's Lusk, back to Walters. Walters lost it on the deck, taken up by Aristil. Aristil driving. 14 points is down. Los Gatos is down with 3:24 to play here in the fourth. Here's Raul. Newberry up top. Gotta go if you're Los Gatos right here. Newberry straight on, looking to drive. Hands off Aristil. Aristil wide open three. Give it to him. Oliver Aristil buries the tray. And it is a 46-57 game, 11-point lead here for Palo Alto.
And there's plenty of time left, 3 minutes. Palo Alto cannot get complacent here.
Closing the ball is Christ, and it goes out of bounds, and they're going to say Palo Alto basketball with 23 to shoot.
Hey, that was close. I mean, that good effort there, the defensive end by Los Gatos, but it looked like Lusk for Palo Alto might have been the last one to touch that out of bounds, but only 2 officials here in high school. Neither one had a great angle, but tough to say whether or not that's actually what happened.
And Lusk is going to get fouled in transition by Shin Mulgun, and coming to the scores table is Nathan White, as White will check into the game for Shin Mulgun. So short stint there for the point guard. 2:53 to play, 57-46 on top are the Vikings. Palo Alto, or Los Gatos, trying to make a late game comeback. Here's Lusk working against White, bounces it over to Walters. Walters right block, who's got 17, has been the man of the night so far. Zhao layup, and he is fouled going down the right block. And that one's gonna be on White. And so underneath it will be a fresh 35 with 2:41 to play.
And Los Gatos can't afford to foul on defense right now because it resets the shot clock each time.
Down low, here's Chris. His shot's blocked. Mihalovic one-on-one with Marzano, and he's going to lose it out of bounds. Tries to save it back. White comes up with it to Raul. Right wing three, way off. Rebound is going to be a far one out to Lusk. Lusk working against Raul in transition. Layup off the side of the backboard, and Oliver comes up with it. Oliver Aristil as he throws the pass, and that's kicked out of bounds by Lusk. But somehow, on the other end, Raj Raul got a look. Unable to knock it down, and then Lusk just had no angle on the layup as Tower Amina will check in, and coming out here is Mihalovic with 2:20 to play, down 11.
But that's surprising that Mihalovic is coming out of the game. He's not only their best scorer athletically, but he's their best rebounder as well.
Tower Amina drives with the left hand up at the rim, could not put it home. Second shot opportunity for Tower Amina, rolls around and out, and a rebound taken by Zhao. Up top, here comes Lusk. Lusk straight on Zhao into the far corner. Drive coming from Marzano, lost it out of bounds. Palo Alto ball with 1:57 to play.
And Wes Walters right now telling his teammate Matthew Marzano to slow down. He took that drive aggressively with 26 seconds on the shot clock, and he doesn't need to. The clock is Palo Alto's friend right now.
So 1:57 to play as Chris is fouled on the ground.
He wanted the basket to count there, but I think it's a right call by the official for it to be on the ground. It's not NBA level continuation, so I think the officials got that one right.
Here's right wing. It is Marzano. Marzano had that great second quarter, 10 points for Palo Alto as they were able to pull away as much as 8. Here's Zhao working against White. Back to Marzano. 20 to shoot here for Palo Alto, who's going to use all of that shot clock here with 1:37 to play, up 11. Marzano, right wing, working against Newberry. Drives up at the rim, and he'll get fouled. So 2 free throws coming for Matthew Marzano.
And Palo Alto has just been able to use a lot of time on this possession. I mean, there's now 1:31 left in the game. When Palo Alto first came down, it was about 2:30, 2:40. So they've used a tremendous amount of clock in what are precious, precious seconds for Los Gatos. And now Marzano on the free throw line is almost putting this game out of reach.
Yeah, makes it his 15th point and makes it a 12-point game. As checking into the game will be Rhett Summers, and Mihalovic will check in, White to check out. So Marzano at the line, 1:31 to play, 46-58. Make it 46-59. The lead for Palo Alto. Marzano has got 16, and Los Gatos will call time.
Authentic quality dishes with local ingredients, a uniquely seasoned crust and prepared fresh daily. Pomodoro Pizza in the Almaden Valley. A great place for great food on game night like tonight or any day of the week. 6932 Almaden Expressway, San Jose, or click the website pomodoropizza.almaden.com to place your order. I could go for a pizza right now. Not like a slice of pizza, just a pizza.
Right now?
Yeah.
In the game.
Okay, maybe once the game ends.
Pomodoro's that good, though.
It is pretty good.
That's what I'm saying.
But I mean, if I had a pizza here, could I manage it with having to do color? Probably. If I was hungry enough and that determined,
I think so.
Desperation makes people able to do incredible things.
That's very true.
I am not going to try it one day, so we're just going to speculate and say I believe in myself and I could do it.
We'll just say you did it. Because why not?
Well, no. Now you're just making stuff up. You don't want to do that.
That's true.
So 91 seconds here. If you're Los Gatos, back to the basketball game that we're broadcasting here, you got to roll this ball out as they're doing. But every possession is valuable. You cannot be lax, and you got to hurry.
Here's Aristil, drives in the lane, nowhere to go, and just taken away by Luss. Marzano to Zhao. And one thing to note, these are some well-conditioned Palo Alto players because they did not get tired, or at least show they were tired at all on the court so far, as Summers is going to foul Zhao, and he'll walk to the free throw line with 72 seconds to play. 59-46 lead for Palo Alto. And Palo Alto, if they'll go on to win this one, this will be their second away win of the year in league in the SCVAL. They'll improve to 6-3 and remain in second place as Zhao hits the second free throw, or the first free throw.
And I think that conditioning is obviously a part of it for Palo Alto, but there's also ways to manage in-game when you exert energy and when you don't. And that's another way that you can stay conditioned throughout the course of a game.
As Summers cannot handle the rebound off the missed free throw, and it just goes out of bounds to Palo Alto, and things just fall apart here for Los Gatos. Here's Luss. He'll go straight up top to Zhao. 1:10 to play here in the fourth, and foul. It looks like Coach Osby wants his team to foul here. Summers is going to foul again Zhao, who's going to walk to the free throw line. Checking into the game at the scores table is Gabe Sandoval. Sandoval will come in for Taormina. And checking into the game will be White for Rao.
And I think fouling's kind of moot at this point. It's a 14-point game. Palo Alto had the ball. There's only 1:06 left in the game. I mean, but I do like the dedication.
So here is a steal in transition. Summers trying to go full court, and Marzano just took it away as Summers goes ahead and fouls Marzano again.
And sometimes when it rains, it pours, right? I mean, that's how it's felt. Los Gatos got themselves right back into the game late in the third, And then, there was the incident with a student throwing something on the court, and the student section hasn't been the same since. And then in the fourth, Palo Alto pulled away, and Los Gatos it was just one thing after another, and now, the game's over and they're all out of funk. But that's how games go, is there's just turning points where everything seems to change, and it looks like a completely different game.
So Zhao doesn't hit the second one. As you mentioned, Sense bringing it within one as Mihalovic with a circus layup gets it to go. But Sense pulling the game within one after that bucket. They've only scored 10 points in the last 8+ minutes. Here is Walters, gives it to Marzano. Marzano is fouled by Aristil with 27.3.
And Marko Mihalovic at the other end not just did an up and under circus layup with the left hand, but went behind the back to get away from his defender, split a double team, and then soared through the lane as he did that circus shot with a little bit of English off the glass. I mean, that was a pretty move, but it's going to be too little too late here for Los Gatos, who are not going to be able to overcome this deficit.
Here's the second free throw, and too strong there for Chris. So up comes Aristil. 61-48, 13-point lead here for Palo Alto with under a minute to play. Aristil's layup doesn't drop home, and Los Gatos continues to foul. Palo Alto student section claiming victory here in Los Gatos. They will go 2-0 against LG on the season, continue the win streak of 10+ points, and improve to 6-3 in the SCVAL and 12-9 overall as Zhao hits the free throw.
And once again, you got to give props to the Palo Alto student section. I mean, they have been a force tonight to be reckoned with. I mean, there's not just 10 or 20 of them. There's 100 or more, and they have been rowdy from the get-go, and it played a factor here tonight.
White, layup, up, could not get it to go. Second shot opportunity drops home for Nate White as Zhao went 1 for 2. It's 50-62, and it is a exact same score that ended the last game between these two teams. Wouldn't you know? As our final score here from Los Gatos, 62, Palo Alto 50 for the home team, Los Gatos Wildcats. Well, welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to our Central Coast Sports post-game show here on CCS Sports. Our final score, once again, 50-62. Spencer, for both teams, what does this one mean here tonight?
Well, I mean, it's a spirited rivalry game. It's the type that, you hate to lose and you absolutely love to win. And as the Palo Alto students are filing out right now, they're waving goodbye to the Los Gatos student section, who are less than thrilled with that particular demonstration. So clearly some bad blood between the schools, and it can be a crushing kind of defeat, but it can also be a really elating victory for Palo Alto, as it has been right here. And I like what Ken Parati is doing right now. Palo Alto student sections are filing out of the door right next to the locker room where Los Gatos is about to enter, but he's holding back his players right now. That's a very smart move to prevent any kind of physical or verbal confrontation between the two sides. He's going to let the Palo Alto students completely file out before his team goes into the locker room to break this down. But if you're Los Gatos, you got to be thinking about how you don't trail early in the game and then have to overcome that kind of deficit. I mean, that's what happened tonight. Is they kind of hung around and it was close, but they were always down. I mean, they never led in the game except for maybe in the early going when it was 5-4.
As we got unplugged here, ladies and gentlemen, but we are back. Spencer, you were talking about it. It was a game in which they let the lead get too big. In that win against Mountain View, the largest lead Mountain View had was 4 points. And so tonight you go down 11, you go down 9, you go down 7 in the third and in the fourth quarter, and that's just too much here. Well, we want to give a special thanks to our sponsors, Netafim Irrigation, Gonzalez Irrigation System, Coastal Grower Magazine, Block Construction, BSN Sports, Pasta Pomodoro, Voca Materials, Kevin Moore, Arnie von Massenhausen, Green, and, of course, the Green Waffle. Well, we want to thank Los Gatos High School for their hospitality, Palo Alto High School, and the SCVL for their support, and, of course, 95.3 KRTY, San Jose's hot country. Not only the best in today's country music, but offering the best in high school sports and the South Bay, home of the Golden State Warriors. Thanks to Nate Deaton, Nicole Woodson, Jamie Paul. For more information, go to their website at krty.com. Well, as we wrap up tonight's game, let's pick our blockbuster construction player of the game, and I think I'm going to have to go with Wes Walters. 17 points, a guy who Coach mentioned in the pregame, blue-collar, hard worker on the court, played excellent in that fourth quarter to try to close the game out. And so our player of the game, Wes Walters. Our next broadcast, Saturday, Bellarmine versus St. Francis. YouTube Live will be here 1 day from now. Well, our final score from Los Gatos, 50-62. The Wildcats lose to the Vikings by the exact same score they did in Week 2 of the SCVL. I'm Carlo Jimenez alongside Spencer McLaughlin. Have a good night, ladies and gentlemen.